Ladies and gentlemen, team session.
Team session, a rather large team. But today I will be presenting on the team lead. I'll be doing an intro first, and then at the end I'll talk about production. We have our design lead, Devin Wiley, who's standing here. She's going to talk about design, of course. Engineering lead, Galian Chen, and art lead, Levan Chen. So taking us off is Devin first.
Right, so I'm first going to just walk through our concept again, because some of you still might not remember. So the setting takes place in a sort of interstellar war between these two races called the Crown and the Nextron. The humans sort of caught in the middle because they turned out to be not powerful enough to stand up against the Crown and the Nextron. So the Crown was the aliens. They're big and brutish, but also scavengers. They're very resourceful. So they've been able to get to where they are by building off of the civilizations they've overcome over the centuries. And the Nextron are sort of these mystical, not like magic, but they're sort of very mysterious in this realm. They're sort of not really understood well, besides the fact that they hate all organic life. So they just want to wipe everybody out. So the core mechanic revolves around being able to, at a high level, spawn units, control armies, upgrade your units, and then try and throw them at the enemy and try to destroy their base. But then, when a fight breaks out, you can actually enter a first-person view of a single unit, gain some special abilities, and try and swing the tide of battle. Oh, actually, go back real quick. So this sort of shows the theme. It's very bleak, especially from the human perspective. You don't really play as them, but war is not usually very happy. So the theme overall is very sort of gritty and dark. So right, we originally had the idea when we pitched it to have 3 levels of control. Basically the first thing we did was let's focus on 2 for the most part. It not only makes the scope easier, but also gives us some time to figure out what's good, what doesn't, what works better and what doesn't, and then later on we can add a 3rd level once we have a better idea that these first 2 are firm in terms of how they control. Another thing we looked at more recently is focusing more on smaller squads. When you have sort of just big armies clashing together, being one unit, being able to control one unit doesn't really do a lot unless you make them super powerful and they can nuke everybody. Then you're not really going to be able to do much. So we wanted to focus on smaller groups of squads, sort of spread out fights. That way, playing as a single player feels more empowering. It also sort of encourages switching, because that's going to be very important for a game like this, where we can't compete with the StarCraft and the RTS level. We can't compete with Call of Duty. So we want to encourage you to switch and sort of gain stuff out of both perspectives. And going forward, you'll see our demo in a bit. But one thing we definitely want to do is show more information to the user. We want to get some more minimap pinging when a squad's under attack, get some alerts going on, so you have more feedback about what's going on in the game. You're not quite sort of as, you don't feel quite as helpless when you're as a single unit, because you sort of lose a lot of perspective, so you don't want to feel helpless going into unit mode. This sort of goes over the current map design. This one on the left is what we have so far. It's one demo, right? Yeah, so this shows these bases are in the corner, and then these little brown boxes are the human settlements. Those sort of are capture points that increase your resource generation. So the idea is you want to go out and capture these, gain more resources, and then eventually wipe out the enemy base. So our idea was to sort of spread things out and provide multiple areas to attack for each position. That way you'll sort of, there will always be areas where fights can be going on. You're not quite sure where it is, so you're sort of trying to explore, see where things are, try to capture an area and see, oh, the enemy's there, and now the fight breaks out, and try to go in first person and try to swing the battle. But as we've gone to a lower amount of units, we've started experimenting more with smaller maps. That's going on with this map on the right, where we're sort of testing out, and we have a map a quarter the size, and only 1 settlement to fight over. And we also have stuff like we can test how obstacles work. So we have these sort of lower level walls that you can shoot over but still get some cover. Seeing how that interacts with mechanics, and that can have us inform whether or not, should we try and build crouches or cover mechanics, things like that. This will sort of definitely help figure out how well unit mode is working more so than our game map. Now we'll go take it out, talking about our engineering.
So not engineering our game is very hard because it contains both RTS and FPS elements. And Unreal is an engine designed for the RTS, so for the RTS things we need to implement them by ourselves. So the biggest challenge is about architecture, and we need to split the tasks into every test plan. For example, we have had some innovation because Unreal treats things like a pawn. For example, if you are in the FPS mode, you are controlling a person, and the person have control handling and has the camera attached to that. So we use the similar idea. We create RTS pawn flying on the sky. So it has a camera. So when you are controlling the RTS pawn, you are playing in the RTS mode, and we have the controls, all kind of RTS controls in that pawn. And so we break down the tasks into some different pawns. To write down the RTS code, we need a kind of RTS command system. For example, if we select a squad of soldiers and we want them to move to there, so we send them command move there, and the squad will have its own AI to keep the formations and to tell each of the units to move there. And each unit will have the AI to decide what to do in the RTS mode. And we have about 20 engineers, so we need to break down into some small groups. For example, we have 5 groups. The biggest one is the AI team. So the AI team is responsible for the RTS AI. There are tons of things, path binding, information, element binding, checks, lots of them. And they are a bit different from traditional RTS game, because in traditional RTS game, like StarCraft, if we like the soldier A to attack soldier B, then that is just one instruction. Soldier B will decrease the hit point by 5 maybe, and that is finished. But in the FPS, every attack is detailed. For example, we need to shoot something, we need to attack it at a direction, and that is different from traditional RTS. So we need to implement the kind of RTS AI to handle that. So the AI is very changing. And then implement them by the behavior tree. At 2 levels, one is the unit level, another is the squad level. Another team is the unit team. That is write things about FPS units. So we have 4 different units, a tank and 3 kind of infantry. So they have different controls, and they have some special abilities like the shield, air strike, mine, and plasma. So they are kind of gameplay team. Yeah. And we also have the building and UI team. We have 3 different buildings, like the core that can upgrade our soldiers and buildings. We have barracks, have a queue that can produce different kind of units. And we have tower. The tower have AI and can shoot some enemies in the range. Also, we have result system, and we have all kind of UI. So this team will responsible for lots of things. And we have networking team. That is a hard task because we have lots of things, and all things need to be done in the networking, and they are making sure everything is done in the multiplayer. And also they create master server and game lobby. Yeah. And the last team is about graphics and performance. At this time, because we don't have some assets in, so those graphics focus on special effects. So we have a lot of them, like the selection circle and bleeding and the core effect and the shield. They are also responsible for the performance things. We already have lots of performance things, like we have detailed physics. Then if we have maybe 6 squad of infantry, then the game will be very slow. We need to deal with that. And we have some memory leaks things, so they need to investigate what is going wrong and fix them. Yeah. So overall, we are nearly get all features in from the perspective of engineering. And the next step is to creating tools to help us to quickly test out different settings, because we need to maybe try different designs to make our game more fun. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, next is Ivana Chen for the artist.
So for the artists, we first finished a requirement for all the artist assets for the whole game. And basically it's including 3D art asset and 2D art asset. 3D art asset is including the level objects like the battle units and the weapons and the environment properties. And the 2D art asset mainly is the UI stuff and the 2D icons. And by now we have finished all the concept art for the 3D art asset, and we finished the UI layout, and also you can see more details listed here. Reference we will have it later. And this is our basically art style for the environment. And based on this, we have many more detailed concept art for the units. Next. This is the basic units. Is a Next-Gen soldier, Chrome soldier. Maybe this is a Chrome LE and Chrome LE and a sniper. And this is the weapons and the Next-Gen sniper. And we have any others concept art that I don't list here. It's too much. And for the model, we have finished this Next-Gen sniper with texture, but this one doesn't have it. And this is the unprocessed Next-Gen soldier, and this is some models with default texture and a tower with the texture finished. And we have more 2D assets now. Basically, they are the customized cursors and units icon, and we also have the crosshairs finished. And based on the art resource we have, we will focus on to finish the UI art asset first, and we will continue to doing something for the modeling, but because of our design are very detailed, and it takes a lot of effort to doing the modeling for the units and the environment. So we will focus on the 2D asset first.
Okay, with that, I'll move on to production, talk to you a little bit about some of the challenges and some of the successes that we've had. So first of all, as mentioned, like we have 20 engineers. We have, I think, at one point we were up at 42 members of the team. There's an absolute huge amount of people that needs to be managed, and that has presented some significant problems. The good news is that the current structure of the engineering team that Gao presented is very, very effective. And it's like we have basically every single lead that was presented report into the lead engineer what every single person in their team did, so we can kind of track what everyone does, and it's been very, very effective, very good at making sure that we progress a lot. So yeah, I have been saying this a lot, very, very, very much, that art has been an absolutely huge problem. I've been in contact with more than 10 different universities. I have posted on a number of different websites and personally messaged over 40 people. And I have currently, I think, 10 people on my art team. It is a huge problem, but the few that we have are actually very, very good. And we are counting on trying to add more people to the few and the talented art team. Iterative design and Unreal multiplayer is something that has been very, very hard for us. While Magnus was talking about that they have like a weekly build and a weekly playtest, we would like to iterate significantly faster than that and try and find a lot of more different things. What we eventually are aiming at is basically you can just connect one editor build with another editor build, which is not really possible right now. Right now you do have to package the entire server and the client and then give it to everyone that needs it in order to play, which makes the process take a very long time. But we are getting very, very close. We're at the point now where it's only rejecting the map path. So hopefully we will get that sorted very, very soon. And as you probably was able to see, this project is hard. Like combining RTS and FPS is something that actually Blizzard tried to do originally with StarCraft 2, and decided that we can't find something that's fun with this and then scrapped it. So it's something that a lot of big things, big companies have done and tried their hand at, and it can be very, very hard. But we're progressing significantly faster than we thought we would. We almost have every single mechanic that we planned to have in. So more or less from here on forward, we can just iteratively playtest and polish the game and get it better and better and better. Right? Finally, I just wanted to showcase quickly our website. What happened? Oh, there we go. So we've had the website up for a while where we have different elements of it. We have, of course, a description of what the game is.
What's the URL?
The URL is possession-the-game.com. And we have also here an overview of the story, of the gameplay, which different features there are in there. We also do blog posts weekly. And in these blog posts, we actually post videos where we have gameplay videos of what's been happening this week. Also have some, of course, pictures of our different models and stuff like that Zavana was referring to. And a very, very long team list. And I have been chasing down artists to try and get LinkedIn information and stuff like that, but usually takes longer than a week for them to respond, so that was a bit hard. Finally, I'd like to show you the poster that we have so far. We don't have it printed yet because we did not perceive that as a requirement. We just wanted it here in Photos to help us print it later. But that's our first iteration of the poster. And finally, I'd like to show you a little bit of a demo. So we got it, just set it up. Now we do have the game working like network, of course, where you can have two players play against each other. But in order for just to be able to showcase what features we have, that's what we basically want to do. We are showcasing on the big map, so not the small map that we showed earlier. But again, the point is more than anything just to show off what our different features are. So we have the core, go selected, where you can basically upgrade all the different units. And this all works with the resources that you have as well. So you spend resources when you're trying to upgrade something. You have the barracks that he selected straight away, where you can create squads of different sizes. The reason why we have this create button, you can adjust the number up and down, is in order to be able to iterate quickly. So you can say to people, okay, just create 3 squads of this size or 5 squads of this size, and that will likely change in the future. We also have, of course, different kinds of AIs. This is when he has multiple different squads selected. You can see how many units are selected. And if you just select one guy, just select one guy. No, that's not one guy. There you go. When you just select one guy, then you select his entire squad, and it shows you this is the guy that you're going to enter if you attempt to enter. We also have a functioning minimap. You can just try and navigate on it. When you click anywhere else, you can also drag it around, see where the enemy is, all that kind of stuff. And it shows where your viewport is. But the creme de la creme of the game, of course, is to be able to go into every different unit and walk around and shoot things. So, which one are you going to? That is a soldier, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is a soldier, which shoots. And there's actually a gameplay demonstration video that shows what every single one of them can on the website. But the idea is that you can go into each one of them and then shoot and kill off the humans, wreck them, basically what Gal is doing right now. Sound, of course, is also something that we want to include in the game to get better in. Once again, this has been an issue where Sound is saying that they would like as much art to be done for them to be able to get a feel of the game, and without a lot of art, then that means Sound says they don't have a lot to work with.
We have some sound in there.
We have some sound in there, yes.
Yeah, let me try. I think we have some.
We do have some sound in there. If you shoot, there you go. All right. So if you go up to take a squad and go out to the human encampment up there.
Yeah.
So the human encampments, as Devin was talking about, is the places where the last survivors of humanity basically are, and and then you want to, of course, kill off humans. You see, use a special ability here, which is shield, which protects everybody that goes into the shield, and you can then capture the point. Capture the point. Or you can leave the point. Then you can capture the point, and then it'll generate additional resources for you. And of course, the point of the entire game is that you then have map control, and you can. Normally, you have another player that you play against, but because we just wanted to show off as many features as possible, we're not really having a full gameplay demonstration because the game usually takes longer than 5 minutes. Yeah, I think that's more or less our demonstration. Is there anything I have forgotten? Towers, yes, of course. Of course. Yeah, let's go attack the towers. So we also have the 3 different buildings. We have the floor, we have the barracks, we have the towers. So the towers, they shoot at enemies. They are a bit underpowered right now, unfortunately. So they need to be buffed. But then again, that is part of our iterative design process that we want to get going. We really want to be able to change as much as possible, as quickly as possible, to like feel out what is fun and what is the better way of doing it.
Also, on the model stuff now is driven, so we can use like CSV files, basically export CSV files are and new stats, and those will get built in and put them in the field.
As you can see, AI is hard. AI is a hard part. Because our game is squad-based, not unit-based, then not only does the AI have to take into account where one unit is, it also needs to take into account where I compared to the rest of the units. And yeah, so you see the towers are a bit underpowered right now, but that's something that we'll work on fixing. That's why we want rapid iteration to come up as quickly as possible so we can make sure that that everything gets fixed in a quicker than 1 day cycle. Right. Now while Gao is destroying the core and wins the game, that's possession. Send it.
Yes. Can you talk a little bit about some of the challenges you've had with pathfinding, and if you feel you are where you want to be now, or if you feel that there is a lot more that can be done to?
We're definitely not where we want to be. Okay. The first implementation we had with pathfinding was not with the use of behavior trees or any of the like inbuilt Unreal things. So we had an implementation first, and then we have built then we've switched this implementation over to behavior trees. Now, there's a billion different things because we had to take into account that if you take 2 squads and you tell them to go somewhere, they will both try to get at the same point. So then we had to build another system which takes into account avoidance of other squads to not block each other. If anybody has played StarCraft 1, you know the famous Protoss Dragoon that just blocks everything, and that is super frustrating to play with. So pathfinding is definitely not done. It's a very, very big problem. If we could just build a navigational mesh and then they could navigate around that, that would be fine. That's relatively easy. But all the different units on the map present themselves as new navigational objects that needs to be navigated around. And that combined with then, am I close to a unit? Am I close to an enemy unit? Do I need to attack this unit? Have I been told to not attack this unit? There's a number of different possibilities that make AI and pathfinding in general one big mesh that is very hard to figure out. But the AI team is working very hard on it, and they're progressing every single day, actually. Yeah?
First of all, the game looks great. Secondly, how are you guys sort of tackling the obvious frame rate problem that you would have had? Can you go really briefly over the optimizations that you guys are sort of using?
Actually, something that I have not included, I chose not to include because then the presentation would be too long, is that Daniel has already implemented a LOD switching system.
Oh.
So you actually have like a low poly model at RTS mode, and then when you switch it, it becomes higher poly. Daniel already has that in, and he has like a custom animation in as well. But I chose to say this is going to prolong, because it's a video of like 2 minutes. It's going to prolong the presentation.
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah.
What is your
definitely,
current frame rate like?
well, it depends on how many units you have. Like in the original version of the game, you could theoretically have, I think it was 200 units on the screen, which was an absolute disaster. So we're definitely going to reduce that significantly. I think.
45 right now.
What?
45 over there.
Is it 45 right now?
Over there.
Yeah, of course. It also depends on over the network. But it also depends on what client is running it and stuff like that.
Oh.
But there are a number of different things. Like for example, we were asked a lot about. So the ground is usually not that detailed when you're far away. Are you gonna if we're gonna add objects to the scene when you go into FPS mode, which is also second semester thing, but which is also a really cool problem that we can tackle.
Awesome.
Timmy.
Briefly, you should make sure that you study Warhammer Dawn of War. Dawn of War. Dawn of War because it's a squad-based game and they really got squads right. So
Written from AI plays the game like 2 hours a week, 2 hours a day. I just switch over to Metal Gear Solid for now, but yeah, we
I encourage this kind of research.
Yeah, we have like, and the good thing about going out and telling about this project to people is that usually people go, oh, so it's totally like Samurai Warrior, and I'm like, what is Samurai Warrior? And then he goes, oh, it's this game where you have like a squad and then you use the squad in RTS mode and then you go into one guy. I'm like, oh, maybe I should research that. So we have had like a bunch of different people come to us and say, oh, it looks like this game or it looks like this game, and we're trying to find out. Obviously, ours is unique, or we're trying to make ours as unique as possible. Just like Magnus is trying to not recreate Rocket League.
But we're
still
the players.
But we're still trying to figure out what is the fun element of that game. What's the fun element of that?
Remember the four Fs. Fail fast, find the fun, and look to other examples to find the fun.
And this is also why we're trying to like make our iterative process as fast as possible. Any other questions? Okay, awesome. Thank you.
All right.